Subscribe to Teckoh on YouTube or you will forever be a bot at Fortnite.
What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys some extremely useful high-ground retakes. These retakes are going to range from beginner to advanced difficulty, so there should be something for everyone in this video. If you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this in the future. And one more thing before we start, I'd like to introduce the sponsor of today's video, which is Advanced Club. If you don't know Advanced Club already, then here, let me tell you a bit about it. Advanced Club has partnered up with top pros including Booga, Mr. Savage, Bizzle, and the pro coach Speedy Gonzalez to produce some amazing courses. These courses cover so many things from techniques to mentality to even routines that can help you improve. And each course was filmed directly at the pro's house to really give a hands-on and legit experience. I've personally checked out all of their courses and it's honestly such an amazing website and I couldn't recommend it more. So if you're interested, feel free to check out Advanced Club at the link in the description to get started today. And with that said, let's get into the first retake. Alrighty, and the last thing before I get into the first retake, I just want to let you all know if you hear any differences in the audio, it's because I got a new mic. I'm still trying to figure everything out with it, so it might not be perfect yet, but hopefully within the next few videos I should get everything down. But with that said, moving into our first retake, I just call this one the box jump. There are other types of box jumps, but I just call this the box jump because I really don't have another name for it. But with that said, what the box jump is going to look like is typically something like this. So you're going to be building up, you can do it off of like a 180 or 90, or you can just do it on its own. And you're going to basically be boxing yourself in like this. And from here, what you'll be doing is you'll be doing a side jump. So essentially, you'll be editing this wall down, jumping out to the side. I obviously didn't mean to build that there. And just continuing to build up. So what I'll typically do is I'll end up doing a 180 or something coming off of another retake. And then I'll edit into a box jump. Did not mean to have that there. I'll end up editing into a box jump and then going like this. So here's what a box jump should typically look like. Obviously, the last part of that wasn't really involved in the box jump. That was kind of just me showing that you can go off of the box jump as well and do other retakes. So really all this retake is basically do whatever you want before it. And then box yourself in, edit out, boom, 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 boom. And do it to both sides. I messed it up, but yeah, there you go. So this box jump technique, the reason I like it so much and the reason I recommend every single one of you watching start to learn it is because one, it's super well covered. Two, it helps you get height fast, especially if you pair it up with other things like side jumps and 90s. So like what a lot of players will do is they'll do their box jump, side jump, and then they'll do two 90s coming off of it instead of just a 180, so it'll look like this. And that's honestly a really good way to start getting height on somebody. So yeah, what I recommend doing is starting to implement box jumps into pretty much everything you can. It's definitely not an easy retake, and it's going to take a while to learn, especially if you're not as advanced, but I guarantee you that it'll be worth it. Alrighty guys, so moving into our second retake, this is another retake it's not really as much of a retake combo where you do a bunch of different techniques in one, as it is like one technique that you can implement into a bunch of different retakes. Obviously it can be a standalone retake, especially if you're not going against like a pro player, but it does work well on its own and you can implement it into other techniques basically. So what this is, I call it the high wall side jump. So essentially what you'll want to do to start with this is basically any time where you're side jumping, okay? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be side jumping. We're going to be flicking our cursor up super high and then going back down. So it's going to look like this. All right. So as you can see right there, what I did was right as I was jumping, I got that wall up there. So I got that wall up. Basically, I flicked up super high. And when my character was at his peak, he got that build down. Then I looked back down really fast. So it's kind of like a flicking movement. Did not mean to build that floor there. And yeah, so the reason this is so useful is because you can use it in a ton of different situations and it provides incredible cover for your retakes. So like what I'll actually do on my own sometimes is I'll do this side jump and then I'll literally just do two 90s coming off of it. One of the main reasons this side jump is so good is because obviously you do the side jump and people are usually going to be following like a layer or two behind you, like this sort of, and you do this side jump. You go from 2 layers below them up to the same layer as them fully covered in basically like a second. But yeah, ultimately this retake, or this sort of technique, is useful in so many different situations, whether you want to implement it into another retake or use it on its own, and I strongly recommend that everybody watching at least tries to learn this. But anyway, guys, moving into our third retake, this one's going to be more of a retake combo than like an on its own sort of technique that you can implement into others. So for this technique, what I want you guys to do is basically start off by doing this. So it's sort of like, this is sort of like a tunneling slash, I'm not sure what to really call it. It's really not that difficult, not as difficult as it looks. Really, all it consists of is wrapping walls around, then placing a ramp and cone. And then straight off of this start, what we're going to be doing is basically doing a phase sway jump out to the side, editing through obviously, and then we're going to flip this ramp to the side and finish a 90. This basically blocks them off. This cone right, or this ramp right here, sorry, blocks them off from shooting you without you having to like turn around and do a full Thwifo cone and then twist around and making it all difficult. And then from there, doing the phase sway jump. Another option you have for this, if you're a bit more advanced, is to wrap walls around and then do this 90. But basically the phase sway jump is just a retake form, just helps you get height fast. Doing this finishes off a 90, and then this. So you're pretty much covered entirely for most of the retake. If you want to get super fancy about it as well, what you can do is do the phase sway retake covered, then do this 90 covered. But obviously that's a lot more difficult. Not even I can do that. So that's something that you can do if you want to get like a really advanced variation that looks like literally incredible in clips. But I typically stick with the most basic version of it, which is just like this. Boom, 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 boom. Up. And there you go. Alright guys, so I know the retakes I've shown so far have been relatively advanced, so for this next retake I want to do one that you can sort of scale from beginner to sort of advanced. So there's something here for beginners, and there's also something here for people who want to get a bit more fancy about it. So this retake is going to look something like this. This is the advanced version. Is basically we're going to be doing the same exact start as last time with the phase sway jump, except instead of going up this way and flipping the ramp and going up that way, what we're going to be doing is sort of a misdirection thing. So we're going to be jumping out to this side with cones, side jumping, and then turning around and basically doing whatever we want from there. Another option for this final side jump as well is to basically do the double side jump, and then you can follow it up with some 90s or something like that. You can see how that technique that I was talking about earlier, that high wall side jump, is kind of applicable to other techniques as well. And for those of you who are more at a beginner level, this is what I would do. So what I would do at a more beginner level is I would start off by just editing through here and doing the phase sway jump. So obviously the phase sway jump is a bit difficult if you're a beginner, but it's a technique that's going to help you a lot. So I recommend just kind of strapping in and learning it real quick. And then from there, you're going to do the same thing with the cones out to the side, and then you just simply side jump out. So this side jump that I do, or that I recommend beginners do, is sort of like, it's not as movement intensive where you have to like go out to the side and be like very precise. It's sort of more like you can just jump and then you land on this floor, like in the middle of the floor, which allows you to just look down and start building up. So overall, that'll look like this. And honestly, no matter which way you decide to do it, whether you want to make it more advanced or easier, it's a really good technique, and I strongly recommend that you guys learn it. But anyway, guys, moving into our fifth and final retake of this video, this one's actually pretty unique. So what this does is this basically uses multiple techniques that we've already covered in this video and implements a new one. What we're going to do for this retake is we're side jumping and landing on the ramp, and we're placing a cone above us. So I'm going to get more into that in just a second. Then from here, we're going out to the left side. We're covering ourselves, sort of like this retake start that I showed you guys earlier. And we're obviously doing the cone up top. Then we're doing the phase sway jump and doing it just like we normally would. So as you probably saw, basically what I did there was use two of the retakes that we already know, put those together, and added another retake to it. So in full speed, this retake is going to look like this. That's obviously a pretty advanced technique, but I strongly recommend it if you guys are at the skill level to start doing it. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully these retakes help you out to improve your mechanics, win more fights, and become a better overall player. My biggest piece of advice is to just stay patient. Retakes are not easy to learn, so just buckle up and take the time to practice, and the results should show for themselves. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos just like this in the future. And also, if you feel like checking out my Instagram or TikTok where I'll be posting more tips and tricks content, those will both be linked down below in the description. But anyway, have an amazing day and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.